doing. I'm back in my little room over here, still working on some of my lighting, but the sound is coming along quite well, so pretty excited about that. We are going to have an abbreviated YouTube live this week because we are taking my daughter out for dinner tonight. We're going to talk about the joys of driving a car because she's going to get her learner's permit soon. She just turned 15, so yeah. She's like, but Mom, that's going to be great for the next year. You get a chauffeur. And I'm like, that is not necessarily a great thing because I'm going to be terrified. That's how that works out. So I'm going to be a very stressed out chauffeur driven mom. But it's our last child. It's the last permit. It's the last driving instruction we have to do. So hopefully we will survive. Hey, Kristen. Oh, we are all awesome. We are so great. Just so good. It's crazy. Crazy busy. Absolutely crazy busy, but that's a good thing. That really is. It's a great thing. So, oh my goodness. And we did this morning, we did a whole slew of videos with just our property managers, which normally the property managers are not as outgoing as the realtors. So they're all real estate agents. They're all licensed. And some of them do double duty, so I can't, generalize that much. But it's different, okay? Our property managers have paperwork into oblivion. They run numbers constantly. It's very difficult to get good property managers, honestly, because they're a weird mix of empathetic and people, and at the same time, I don't know. It's just kind of, they're people, but they're not necessarily like super outgoing. They're more introverted than extroverted. So, but they still have to enjoy being around people. They still have to talk to people. They still have to be able to do sales. So it's just a really weird mix. A lot of paperwork in property management, like a lot. So it's just very, very different. Okay. So like we have property management meeting every single Monday morning. And then on Tuesday, every other Tuesday, we have our sales agent meeting. And all of our agents are free to come to either one or both, whichever. But the property management meeting is basically just to literally go over the whole thing and just make sure that nothing was missed, nobody fell through the cracks, there's no issues, getting the 3-day notices together, stuff like that. We talk about all of it. We talk about maybe upcoming evictions or issues that have arisen. And the reason I like them to talk about these issues is because then when one faces an issue, another one can learn from that issue, because it's really hard in property management. You eventually will see everything, but how much better is it when you're like, oh, I've seen that before. Yeah, a few years back, there was another property manager that had that same issue, and here's how she dealt with it. So it's nice to be able to kind of learn from each other and just have that camaraderie and that teamwork or whatever, because it is a very solitary thing normally. So having that camaraderie between our property managers is great, but they are very focused. There's a lot of responsibility legally, a lot of education goes into it and stuff. So today, this morning, we were talking about it the last few weeks at our property managers meeting, and we're like, we really want to advertise you guys and advertise your services. And they immediately were terrified for the most part. And I'm like, I want to put some videos together to show our most common issues in property management and how you guys go about solving those problems or stuff that you've seen. And they're like, what? And I was like, I want to do basically skits. And you guys get to be maybe the tenant or the owner, or sometimes you get to be the property manager. And so they were like, I don't know about this, Andrea, but thankfully they actually did do it. We ended up having So much fun. They got crazy on some of the stuff. They actually, so one of our property managers is diminutive in size. Her driver's license actually says that she has to have a booster seat. I'm not joking. She's petite, very petite. And she's in her 30s. Okay, she's not like a little kid, but she gets taken for a child sometimes, you know, which is crazy because she's like in her 30s. But she's tough. Hey, smiley one, how are you? So she's like, I mean, she's quick and she's really thorough, and she's an absolute awesome property manager. They are not in Broward County. I'm sorry. No, we've got Citrus and Marion County primarily. We do have one house that we manage in Deltona. That was a fluke. We would probably do more in Deltona because we've already got, you know, one there. So, but no, we've not gone as far as Broward. But anyway, yeah, so she is hilarious about, you know, she just takes, she actually says her own jokes about being petite. And, but yeah, we were like doing one skit about a tenant that has a lot of tenants living in the property that are not on the lease, which is something that does happen at times. And so so we had like a skit where everybody was coming from everywhere. She got into a utility closet. There was like this much space, and she it was hilarious. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna be doing those videos. I think one got edited and put on there today. Thankfully, one of our owners for our short-term rentals, she actually allowed us to do all of this filming in one of the short-term rentals. So we're going to give her some extra advertising at the end of each one of these skits. But this is all like, it's funny, but at the same time, every one of these skits is stuff that we've seen over and over and over in property management. So, you know, sneaking in additional tenants, or oh my goodness, just the phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, and, you know, repeated phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning, like the answer's going to change. You know, just stuff like that, like crazy stuff. So yeah, scams on Facebook where somebody shows up with a U-Haul and you're like, that, no. So we don't have that, but we've seen owners and we've talked to owners where they're like, yeah, apparently somebody took my house that's up for rent and they scammed a whole bunch of people, and now I've got people showing up with U-Hauls thinking that they're, you know, getting a key, and I have no idea who these people are, and I'm just like, so I mean, this stuff happens all the time. So we were kind of, you know, it was kind of being funny about it, but at the same time, it really wasn't. This is the phone calls we get all the time. So yeah, we had a blast. We had an absolute blast. I have not laughed so hard in like forever. We were having so much fun. It was ridiculous. And then the photographer showed up and we did some, you know, team pictures and stuff like that were really, really fun and really nice too. And a little more professional, but we just had so much fun this morning. It was great. So we had our property management meeting. We discussed all the stuff we needed to discuss, and then we took off for the short-term rental, did a whole bunch of videos and skits and stuff like that. So you guys will be able to see that on our YouTube channel and on Facebook Reels and stuff like that stuff too. So it was a lot of fun. It was probably a little too much fun. Hey, Arlene, how are you? Lady J, good grief, everybody's on here tonight. Holy smokes. We got like the whole team. So yeah, that was this morning. It was great. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what would happen if I did the same thing but with like the sales agents. I might. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We get our sales meeting. But yeah, it was crazy. So that was my morning. I was not actually, you know, as much as I'm on videos and stuff, I wasn't in hardly any of the skits. I think I was only in one. I was basically just taking the videos and directing. That was my thing. But I just kind of let them run the show and go at it. My husband actually is in several of them, which is totally bizarre because you guys know he doesn't go on video very much, but he was all in. I mean, they just had a blast. It was hilarious. So we had so much fun. But Huge thanks to the owners of the short-term rental that we filmed at today, because we needed a house that actually had furnishings and stuff. So you guys are going to see those. We're going to release, probably get edited and releasing about 2 per week. But each of the property managers got to be a property manager at least 2 times. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. But they're a great group. I mean, they really are. They're just really great team and just awesome. The first one released tonight. And then I think the next one is going to be on Thursday, and we'll just probably do Mondays and Thursdays going from here on out. So we'll have at least 2 hitting there. I thought they were going to be YouTube shorts, but apparently they were kind of long. So some of them, not all of them. So some of them will be shorts and some of them will be just regular YouTube videos. But feel free to look for that. We'll probably do a playlist for property management when we get enough of them up there. That it actually, right now it's not much of a playlist. But yeah, I mean, the property managers are such a huge part of our company, and they have such a great team, and they really, because they're not as, I don't know, gregarious as some of the rest of us, you don't really see them as much. They're kind of in the background, So our salespeople are who you really get to know when you're like, even as an investor, you're buying the home. But then they are like, yeah, I am not managing it. That goes to those other people over there. And there's even like one is a husband and wife team. Jeff, he is fantastic with sales. He is so gregarious and out there and just, oh my goodness. He is what did I call him? My emotional support extrovert. He is like, he loves networking. So we'll go to networking events where I'm like, there's a lot of people here. This is a lot of people. And he's like, I got you. You just have something to drink, sit down, chill out. We'll get the people over here. It's all good. Don't worry about it. He is awesome. Okay. He is just so comfortable. More people, the merrier. He's just great. His wife is a little more introverted. She's very empathic. She just absolutely, she feels what you feel. I mean, she is just, but she's also perfectly professional. She, like, if somebody needs to be evicted, she'll be like, I am so sorry, honey, but you did this to yourself. Okay. She'll work with you every step of the way, trying to avoid that, because that's also in the owner's best interest too, just saying. But she'll, but she's on it. She's so good with her paperwork, and her communication and stuff is like off the charts great. But they're just so polar opposite. So this couple, he will go and sell the house, and then he gives it over to his wife to manage. It works perfectly. It's perfect for them. So yeah, Jeff and Tristan are great. Shardy, she does sales, but she also does property management. Aladi does both. Allie is strictly property management. She's like, no, if she works with maybe one person that's buying or selling for the year, she's like, okay, that's it, I'm good. She is very, very into property management. She actually manages an entire apartment complex, plus she has additional houses on the side, and she loves the villages. She loves managing in the villages. She's like, she was bringing another one in today. I was like, that's different. The villages, it's basically an HOA that runs the city. It's really, you really have to go all in when you do the villages. And she's like, we should go ahead and advertise like crazy down there. I'm like, you do you, boo. I don't whatever you want to do. But you're going to have it forever, because I'm not doing that. It's just very different. It's very, very different. But she's working with a lot of new construction down there and stuff. So yeah, just she's crazy good. She knows how to do sales. She's been doing sales for years, but she really is just all in on the property management right now. And then we've got Maureen. She does both. She's just started into property management. Now, I've been doing property management. That's how I got started. I've been doing it for 17 years. I've been doing property management. So I don't do property management at this point. I manage the property managers. I still have a few accounts. I can't say that. I still have a few accounts that I've had for, I don't know, since the beginning, basically. I sold them their houses. I helped them rehab their houses. Like, I have been through it every step of the way. Now they're starting to sell off their portfolio and stuff. So I work with them. Those are my people. And I'm, you know, they've known me for like, at this point in their lives where they're already in retirement, there's no way I could give them a new property manager. That's just, it wouldn't happen. So, so yeah. Then my husband, he actually does property management as well now. He's got a whole bunch of, duplexes that he does. Other restrictions. Yeah. Yeah. It is definitely intense down in the villages. It really is. So, I always kind of shied away from it because, I mean, there's so much available within Marion County, which the villages does. It is a part of Marion County, but it's just a very small part. So yeah, I prefer, I always prefer not to. And I mean, again, there was so much business in Marion County, you know, central that I didn't really feel a need. But I also pretty much stayed out of the city of Ocala too. I was very picky about where I went, because, you know, getting permits and stuff within the city was a little bit more difficult, doing rehabs work and stuff there. Like, for example, if you change out a water heater within the city of Ocala, you have to have a permit, but if you're in the county, you don't. I mean, just weird stuff like that. So, good evening. Just like, haven't been here in a while. So, figures, because we're going to have an abbreviated one tonight. Smiley, you are also, you're my online emotional support extrovert. You really are. You're like all in. Hey, Lady J, you're trying about buying earlier than planned and renting. Is there a strong? Yes, it is an extremely strong rental market right now. We really need rentals. For the last, I'd say 2 months, we haven't had anything to rent out. Like, literally, you go on our website and it's like, yeah, check back later. There ain't nothing. That's embarrassing. That is, it's awesome. It's messed up. Oh. Y'all got me cracking up today. Oh, but yeah, no, it is. It's really, it's crazy. So, like, one person they just closed on a house. It's a little 3-1 older home. Yeah, so much to buy. Just 3-1, and they bought it for $150,000. That's all public record now. So, bought it for $150,000, and it's probably going to go between $1,100 and $1,200 per month. So really not bad. I mean, really not bad. So normally I would recommend getting a 3-2 or even a 2-2, but again, this is an older home. It's really super cute, but it is very small, very small. So this is not like, you know, the cookie cutter 3-2 or whatever. So, we're purchasing. Okay. We do that. No, we have some rentals coming up. Thankfully, we've been sending out postcards. We've been like, we need some rentals because all of our tenants are not moving out. Like, they've been there for years. They are not leaving. So we need more rentals. If we want to rent anything out, we have to bring in more properties. That's all there is. So yeah, so we have all these people that want to rent from us, which is great, but we got nothing to rent to them. So made it impossible for the lower income bracket. You see that, and yet 3,000 or more. Yeah, no, I don't have 3,000. I don't think I have any $3,000 rentals. We might soon in the villages, but that's like the villages. That's totally different. That's not low income. But yeah, normally we don't have anything that's 3,000. It's normally, I was saying like 1,500, but now I'm thinking it's actually gone up from there. It's like 1,700. Oh, for first, last, and security. We actually don't charge that. We charge first and security. The security deposit can be more than 1 month's rent, but normally it's 1 month's rent. It depends on how your application comes back. We do a computerized search, and then because I have absolutely no faith in computers, we do a manual search on top of it. So yeah, no. I don't know what that word was. Was that what or why or both? So yeah, we do first month in security. And so, yeah, because there's no reason to do last month. Last month is like, just pay your last month's rent. Just pay your last month's rent. It's not that complicated. Your security deposit, like, right? It's actually a pain in the butt to do last month. So if we're concerned, maybe there's a little bit of risk or something. Maybe you haven't been on the job for very long or something like that. If there's additional risk, maybe we'll ask for security of a month and a half or 2 months. There's actually no amount of security deposit. There's no cap on it in Florida. So we can ask whatever. We can ask whatever you're willing to pay. Sometimes we'll have people move down here and they're like, I want to pay 1 year of rent in advance. I'm not joking. People do that. They'll have sold their house and they're like, this is what I want to do. Do I enjoy doing that? No, actually I don't. Because it's complicated, with Florida law. Basically what they're doing is putting their entire rent amount into a security deposit. So it's complicated when you do that. And then we have to release every month manually their rent over to the owner, and we can't undo it. Like, we can't just pay the whole amount to the owner. It has to be unlocked from security deposit. It's a pain in the backside. Okay, we have done it. We do it. Normally, if they're just coming down, they're just getting a job or something like that. Everything else looks great. They're just really new at their job, and it's not a transfer. It's a completely new job. We'll maybe ask for like 3 months of rent or something like that. Normally it's because, they've sold their house. They have plenty of funds to pay for it. We just want to make sure that they are golden for a few months as they're trying to get adjusted in things and places and the job and all of that. So, it's basically trying to make sure that they're stable and stabilized for that time frame. And we found that about 90 days is about what it takes. Like, that's when you actually get out of your boxes. So yeah, we do stuff like that. We try and work with people as much as we can, but sometimes we can't. So, but yeah, normally the computer search is done from an outside company, and then we'll follow it up with a manual search just to be on the safe side, because you just have to. Sometimes, like, the misspelling of a name or something, or I don't know, just weird stuff doesn't show up. How are short-term rentals? They're good. We're actually going away from the Airbnb thing. Oh, we'll look at it forever. How long is it held against you is different. But yeah, you could, if you've ever had an eviction, we'll find it. That's not a question. How long ago it was, like, if you had an eviction in like 2008, 2009, when pretty much everybody had evictions or foreclosures, are we going to hold that against you the same as somebody that had one last year? No, that's different. So it really, probably, I think it's, I'd have to look at the guidelines, but I think it's 5 years, for an eviction. And it also depends on the eviction. Because we go into the court records and look, it's all public record here. So we will actually go in and, if you're, sometimes it'll be like just some 5 is about what I thought. Yeah. Sometimes it used to be 10, so actually 5 isn't bad. But yeah, on the court records, it'll be like, yeah, volunteer turnovers. Like, if they actually gave the keys back and then the landlord went ahead and evicted them anyway, that's going to be looked at differently than somebody who's like, hey, I lost my job, but I don't have anywhere else to go, so I'm going to fight this as long as possible because I have to stay here for free. Those are 2 completely different scenarios, okay? 2 completely different scenarios. They both ended in eviction, but yeah, it's a little different. It's a little different. So, it's just, you kind of got to look at it. That's why that manual search. Don't know. Got to look. I have no idea. We have a lot of people that will call and be like, okay, here's the story. Here's what's on it. Will you approve it? And it's like, I have to run the whole thing. There is no way to do it. Just like, no. First, the computer has to do it. Like, it has to go through the process. There is no getting around the process. And then some people have said, like, oh, you just want the application fees. No, we don't. No, we don't. The application fees are for that company that we have to pay to, like, if you asked me to run your credit, I would have no idea how to do that. I can only give the information to that one. I don't trust you. I don't. Because, like, it's only good as the information you put in there. So anyway, but yeah, we have to put it through that company. There's no way. Like, I would have no idea how to do it. So we put it through that third party company, and then they run it, and then it comes into us, and then we look at the results from that, and then we look at court records, which are pretty easy to pull, and look at like the county records, and if they've lived in a whole bunch of other places, then we may have to do another search manually, which kind of sucks. But yeah, anyway, because each county and each state have different guidelines. It may be that there's like 6 evictions, but if it's from California, you'll never know. They don't share information. So yeah, it's you have to do manual searches. You just absolutely have to do manual searches. But yeah, we find a whole bunch of stuff. I think I could probably find on an application, I could probably find the fibs and the frauds within 60 seconds or less at this point, because it's the same stuff. People always it's always the same stuff. So yeah, but when you've been doing it, countless applications for 17 years, you just know. You don't have any rentals right now. Can you help us find? Yes, absolutely. Because we know what's coming up. That's why it never gets to, it never gets to our website. I know our website is like, it's so sad. It's so sad. But like, before we get to like, okay, we'll know, all right, so-and-so turned in notice for the end of this month. Okay, cool. We'll have a rental available. By the time we get to the end of this month, we'll have people, that have already looked at it, seen it, and went ahead and rented it. So it never makes it to the site. So yeah, but we know what's coming up. We talk about it every single Monday meeting is, okay, well, what, has so-and-so turned their notice in, or what are we thinking? Are we needing to update the flooring, or, what's the timeline, or whatever. So we know what's coming up. Now, can we put those online and say, this is coming up at this time? Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. So yeah. That sounds good. Awesome, Sar. Thank you. I know, I feel really bad because somebody over the weekend, I guess, went on Google and was specifically wanting to talk to me, and they talked to somebody in the company. I'll show up your office. It's real. Don't do that. Somebody actually just used my Calendly link, and I was like, oh, I've got a Calendly, and I was thinking it was for sometime this week, so I wanted to make sure I had it in my head. No, it was for June 18th or something. I was like, yes, I've got notice. That's awesome. And they're actually coming in. They were like, hey, we just wanted to come in and have coffee with you. I'm like, thank you for giving me notice. So I will literally schedule my life around that. Like, if somebody was like, hey, can you come and do a radio show or something? I'd be like, no, I've got people coming in and they gave me notice, okay? It's like the golden ticket. No. So bad. But seriously, I take it seriously when you guys say you're going to stop in, unless you just stop in and then it's like, yeah, maybe. Like this morning, I was out filming. We were out filming at a short-term rental. So if somebody came in this morning, I would have been like, I'll be back in the afternoon. But yeah, if you go on the Calendly link, definitely, absolutely, just pop it in there and we will be golden. Absolutely golden. But if you all come at once, I'm host. I'll be like, what? Did I forget something? Oh, I hate that. I gaslight myself. It's really just sad. So sad. But yeah, no, we do have some rentals coming up. Not just like people moving out, but actually we have new rentals coming in, because like I said, we've been doing everything we can to talk to owners and be like, look, we will be more than happy to rent out your properties for you. So yeah, we've picked up a few portfolios, so that's good. Oh yeah, that was insane. That was absolutely insane. New construction has come down considerably, and they've got some really good deals out there. So 100% agree with you. Which is crazy because the new construction is actually competing with resales now. And it used to be that like you'd be like, okay, new construction, well, you'll get it in like 3 to 6 months. It's from Andrea. Okay, so you were the one on Google. Andrea Leonard, right? I got the message. I got it today. so I'm like, what? But yeah, go on my Calendly. Like, we will have an automatic appointment if you go on Calendly. But like, Google is for the whole company. So that was like, I got that one today because I don't normally work on the weekend unless I have an appointment. So like next weekend, I'm working the whole weekend. So that's gonna be fun. I've got the home buyers workshop on Saturday. And I'm going to do online, and Jeff is running the show on the in-person, and we might go back and forth. I don't know. We'll see. We had technical difficulties last time, so. So we're doing the homebuyer workshop. I've got a 5K in the morning in Orlando. Then I've got the homebuyers workshop in the afternoon. And then the next day, I'm doing Symphony Under the Stars, the radio show that I do a show for. Which is Classic Hits Ocala. They are doing the broadcast, I guess, for the show, and they're going to be on location, and they've asked me to come down and be on location. I've never done an on location. I've never been asked to do an on location. I don't have any idea what I'm doing. So hopefully they're going to walk me through it. I literally was looking at the email today going, I don't want to like overstep. Like when do I show up? When do I leave? It's like from 2 p.m. to 9 p.m. I'm going to be out there. So I don't know, but that's going to be on Sunday. So we'll see. But it's for Symphony Under the Stars, which is over at the Ocala golf course. And they have this huge stage that gets set up. And it's this, I mean, beautiful, amazing music, and it's well into the night, and then there's fireworks at the end. I mean, it's like $20. I mean, how cool is that? And then you can bring picnics. Smiley, you got a lot more faith in me than I do. But you can like bring a picnic, or you can get like food trucks there or whatever. So hopefully it'll be fun. The first thing I thought was like, I am bringing a fan. Okay, I've got some battery powered fans because I know it is going to be hot. They've got me showing up at 2 o'clock. I think the whole thing starts at 3, but we start broadcasting at 2. So yeah, if you ask Alexa to play Classic Hits Ocala this Sunday, you're going to hear that whole thing. So I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not running the thing, so all I got to do is show up. So hopefully it'll be fine. Can't be there. That's okay. You can listen. You can listen on Alexa. Have Alexa play it. But yeah, they're going to be doing a live broadcast the whole time, so should be good. It should be good. But I mean, I do lives like this, but this is like, you know, intimate. It's like my little media room in my office. I feel all comfortable here. There is going to be like 1,000 people out there plus listening. Okay. Anyway, I'm a little nervous, but I'm not going to think about it anymore. So it'll be fine. But yeah, it should be a really good event. So I have not been to this one before. So should be good. Should be good. Okay. I am so sorry. I know you guys are like all on here, but I promised my daughter it would be a 30-minute show, and I've already gone over by like 5 minutes. So you guys have a great night, and please absolutely go ahead and get on my Calendly. Andrea Leonard, I'm going to be giving you a call in the morning if that's okay. Yes, I did get the message today. So sorry about the delay. I just have not been contacted through that method before, so I will work on that. Thanks. I didn't want to miss you guys. I'm like, Monday nights, that's my nights to do live. So 6 o'clock, I'm on here. But yes, I will absolutely talk to you guys next Monday. And if you can listen to the live, just ask Alexa to play Classic Hits Ocala, and we will be on there. Aw, she's 15 now and going to be driving. You know, she just got, I'm sorry, I know I've got to go, but I'm so braggalicious right now. She just got accepted to do her CF classes, like she went through orientation. So she is now doing dual enrollment, and I am just so incredibly proud. She is a college student. She actually has the ID and everything, and I think it's finally sinking in that she's actually doing this. So excited. All right, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I greatly appreciate it. I love all of you guys hanging out with me. I have so much fun. And Smiley One, thank you for being my emotional support extrovert. I appreciate it. You guys have a good night. Smiley.